We are back to car vlogs. I am back in St. Louis, so I am sitting in the law school parking lot right now before my 8:30 class. So I am back in person again, at least, you know, this one class that's in person. And yeah, it's a new week. I'm kind of focusing this week on getting back into a lot of my routines and habits, because being home is wonderful and it's a great break from everything, but I lose a lot of my like really, I guess, crucial life habits because I'm just kind of, you know, a little bit relaxed, which is great and obviously very good. But this week definitely there is a move to get back into a routine. I also just have a lot of random appointments and stuff this week. I'm getting my brows done, I'm getting my hair done, I am getting my COVID vaccine, so a lot of things. But yeah, we're off to a good start this morning. So I like got back into my like good old morning routine with like my meditation and my like reading time and all of that in it, which was great. I had like a great little podcast moment. Listened to an episode of like the Skinny Confidential this morning, and then What a Day, which is just like a news podcast. I'm trying to make an effort to pay more attention to news. I mean, obviously I do, in the sense that like I follow a lot of people on Twitter and I get a lot of news from, you know, reporters and things like that via my Twitter timeline, which sounds sketchy, but it's like reliable people on Twitter, not just like random bots on Twitter. But still, I want to like make more of an effort to like actually pay attention to things in like actual news packeted forms. So podcast, it's a good thing to have going while I'm getting ready in the morning. So that's fun. But yeah, I am also very early to class. Like it's 8:09 right now and my class doesn't start till 8:30. So I'm just gonna go like sit in the classroom and delete a bunch of emails, because I'm also trying to clean out my email inbox because it's gotten bad. It's like there's too much stuff in there. So I'm trying to clean that out and get all of the things nice and clean. I'm also gonna try to deep clean my apartment this week because I came back and I cleaned it a good bit yesterday too, but it just gets so dirty so easily, and I hate that. So it was like clean when I left, so it somehow like all of this dust just accumulated. We've been through how I don't like my apartment. I don't need to do this again. This is a new week and we are gonna start off on a positive note that's not me complaining about where I live, because I'm also moving soon. So I am signing a lease to live somewhere else and I am excited for that. So good things, positive note, we're there. And that's a workout done. I decided to mix it up and I did German volume training, which is basically 10 sets of an exercise, 10 reps each set. And so I did that with squats. And so 10 reps of 10 squats. And whew, I felt that. That was a solid workout. That was a good way to mix things up. But yeah. Now I'm going to head back home. I'm putting all of my rings back on. So got like 5 on today. And gonna head back home. Going to quickly do my criminal law reading tomorrow because I only have 4 pages for that. So I can knock that out really quickly. And then I have class. So on we go. It is many hours later. I am about to get ready to go to bed, but doing a little bit of reading that's, you know, fun reading, and I also am having a little drink. So essentially this is the thing that's keeping me up. Once I finish this I will you know, get ready for bed, but trying to finish my drink first. The rest of today was pretty good, pretty productive. 2 of the places that I applied last week reached out to schedule interviews, so I have 2 interviews pretty much back to back on Friday, so that's good. And you know, at this point I'm convinced something is going to work out. Like there's no way that it won't. So that's kind of where we're at with all of that whole job hunt, internship, search mess. And it's still very much moving forward, and I'm still, you know, making progress. So that feels like it's in a good place. And then I got, you know, all of my readings done for class tomorrow, so obviously that one had to happen. And then now I'm, you know, reading my book for fun. I did a lot of cleaning in the apartment as well. Did like a vacuum where I got like every little last corner, because once again, this apartment just collects dust like none other. Truly, like none of the previous places I've lived have gotten this like messy this quickly, and I am convinced it's something with just like something about this building. It's cursed. I'm keeping a tally between now and when I move out of how many times I get blocked from getting into my apartment by construction on both sides of the road. And we're already up to one for today. So we're off to a strong start. If you wanna call that a good thing. Maybe it's not. It's definitely not. It'd be nice to not get blocked from my own living area. So that's apparently my life though. So we're gonna make the most of it until I upgrade to a place where I won't get blocked out of my apartment and the road that I live on a very regular basis. So it's a much needed upgrade, and I'm very excited already for this move and the fact that it's happening earlier than I originally planned for a move to happen. Yeah, that's kind of where we are at today. It's a good time. So I'm gonna get back to my book and finish my chapter before I finish my drink, and then go to bed. I also literally have an interview like before class tomorrow too. So I actually have 3 interviews this week. So this one is at 8 a.m. my time. It's 9 a.m. Their time, but I'll have to be up early for that. Actually really no earlier than if I was going to class in person, but it's just useful to, you know, be up and awake early and ready to, you know, think through an interview properly and be able to like put my best face forward, best self forward. So getting a good night's sleep is definitely feels like a important thing for that as well. Unnecessary 5 p.m. run. Once again, I have no stirring utensils in my car, so I might just have to wait until I get home. But she is beauty, she is grace. She has another venti chocolate almond milkshake and espresso. It's a little too layered for me to just wing it and try to drink this. I'm gonna wait until I get home and get a straw, and at some point I will learn to keep straws in my car, because I have a ton of metal straws, but I just don't keep them in my vehicle. So yes, as mentioned, it is 5 p.m. We have had a full day. My interview this morning went really well, I think. I don't want to like try to get my like hopes up prematurely or assume anything, but it seems like they really were interested in me. Obviously that could mean one of any things. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting an offer from them, but I clicked with the interviewers, I think. Like I don't know, we were laughing about things, so I feel like that's a good sign usually. What the fresh, I'm not gonna swear on camera, but you two are pieces of, I did just swear on camera. So yeah, I hate drivers in St. Louis. Like they're bad. Like some people just like ignore lane lines and lights. It's always an adventure here. Like it's never, people are just genuinely bad drivers. Genuinely bad. Like it's not even like cool, like, you know, you're driving like a maniac but you're kind of smooth about it. Like they're just stupid. I don't get it. It was a very early interview. Like I really don't know what possessed me to be like 8 a.m. great time for an interview, other than the fact that I guess the rest of my schedule this week is just kind of nuts. And so I was like 8 a.m. is what you're getting. That's the best I can give you. So that's what happened. And Then I had class as usual. I had, St. Louis roads are also terrible, so not only are the drivers bad, the roads suck too. St. Louis is a nice city, like it's a fine city, but just people can't drive, and the roads are not like smoothly paved. Those are my complaints. There was a meeting today basically for Write On, which is for 1Ls. It's how you get onto a journal in the law school for your second and third year. So, which are like sort of a big deal. A lot of places, especially like judges when you're applying for clerkships and all of that stuff, like really want to see that you are on a journal. So there are like multiple journals at the school. Law Review is kind of like the main one. It's like the kind of the big deal one, and then there are other journals. There are 3 other ones at my school, and so basically it's a competition where all the 1Ls have to like more or less try out for a journal by doing a bunch of writing stuff like right after finals end, which just seems like terrible timing, and is just, you know, you're already burnt out and then you just have to write a 12 to 18 page paper. One of these days I will purchase a camera mount. One of these days. What is nice, what is kind of like a little bit of an advantage, although perhaps not, so I can't like treat it like I have an advantage, but potentially is a thing that's useful, is so my school, and I know other law schools do this too, there's like a grade on basically, where if you are within a certain percentile of your class and you put in like a good faith effort to the write-on competition, you're like automatically put on your first choice. So because it's based on grades for the whole year, I can't like, you know, completely bank on grades being the thing that like get me on and not worry about putting in anything more than like the bare minimum amount of effort into the actual competition, because, you know, things could change. But that being said, as long as I do relatively similarly to how I did this semester, I don't have to like match it, but like I can't just like completely let my grades go down the drain either. I should, you know, be able to take advantage of that, which is great. But once again, it doesn't really take that much off my shoulders because I don't know if I'm gonna be in that bracket of people. So I've been talking for 10 minutes now, and I haven't actually been talking that entire time. Most of it I've just been trying to make sure my camera didn't fall while navigating horrible St. Louis roads, but my camera now says 10 minutes. So that's kind of where life is at now. I'm really happy that we had this information meeting because I've been thinking about journal for a while, just like wanting to know what's up with that and like how all of that's gonna play out. I'm very much the type of person who is always thinking at least 3 months in advance, which is a good or a bad habit depending on how you want to look at it. But because I've been like waiting for more information about this and to figure out more about it. So I'm glad that we've gotten that in, and I am like, I have a better understanding of it, and I have a better idea of like how to start preparing for it. Just some like practice exercises, because there's the whole like legal citation method thing that they test on that as well. And just thinking about all of the fun stuff that will bring right after finals smack me in the face. So, good morning. So today is a fun day. It is absolutely no law school stuff, other than I will be tuning into a class while driving, but I am going to get my COVID vaccine today, so I have to drive. They haven't opened it up to everyone in the state of Missouri yet, but they have like a bunch of vaccines in like rural areas that they started giving out to everybody, because otherwise they won't be good anymore. So I have an appointment up in like northern Missouri to get vaccinated. So that's where we're headed. We're headed up that way now, and if I get there early, I'm just gonna work on other things. I've got a video to edit, all that good stuff. So right now I just left. I got my brows laminated for the first time, so they're like a little bit, I'm gonna flatten them out eventually. Like, I'm supposed to let them set like this, but they're a little bit too big, but they have to like dry, like set straight, and then I can kind of flatten them out just a little bit. But I'm kind of excited. Like, they look like this one's a little bit bolder, but like this one looks so good. And once I think like once I'm able to, you know, flatten it out, it's gonna look so nice. But I've always wanted to do things with my brows, like wanted to like do fun things with them, where like, you know, you like get like your brows laminated or microblading, or like even just like a brow tint. Like, I've always wanted to try things like that, but I couldn't ever do that when I was super blonde, because my brows just naturally, like, this is the natural color of my brows, despite my natural hair not being anywhere, my natural hair being like almost blonde. I don't know why the gene pool worked out that way, but it did. And so a lot of times it makes my brows look really fake when I would do that with blonde hair. But now that I have dark hair, all of these things like look normal. So anyways, that's where we're at. I have really dramatic eyebrows right now, that will kind of settle down over the next 24 hours. But that was fun. And I'm like, I can tell, like, once it calms down just a little bit, I'm gonna be obsessed with them. So I'm excited for that. But we are going to start driving. I'm probably gonna stop at Starbucks or something, because my stomach was growling that entire time that I was getting my brows done. So I need to get food first, and then we will go onward. 3 hours of driving later, and I have a little vaccine to show for it. So that was like the most painless process once I got here. Because I'm in like rural Missouri, they like genuinely just need people to get vaccinated. So I decided I'd be willing to go for a drive for a day. I like long drives. Like, I think I've talked about this before, but I love just like, you know, going for a drive. I've posted multiple videos where I've been like going for like stress drives for hours. So like, this isn't even a stress drive, but you know, it was a nice midweek field trip, and I got a vaccine out of it. So I'll be back in 4 weeks, which is like right before finals start. So it's really perfect timing, honestly, in that regard, to just get the other half of it done with. But I'm now heading home. I also had good news while I was driving, and I like stopped and checked my email, which was that one, I got another interview. So which is just fun. Now I have a bunch of them. This is going to sound, I guess, a little bit like self-important, and I don't mean for it to sound that way, but this is what I expected the like 1L job hunt to feel like, was just like a lot of places I applied would just immediately want to schedule an interview. So I enjoy that that's now how it's starting to feel. It's very late in the game, but it does feel that way, which is good. So I'm just gonna continue interviewing until someone gives me an offer, or alternatively I just get a bunch and I have to choose, which would be the ideal situation. Like, I'd love to like have the option to kind of like weigh out which one I think is the best opportunity. So we'll see if I get that option, or if I just take the first thing that's handed to me. And then my legal practice professor also finally released our grades for our first brief of the semester, which is like my first graded assignment for the semester, and I did really well. I am very, very happy with my performance, which is good, because the last legal legal writing thing that I did at the end of last semester, I was not happy with how I did. And so this was a nice turnaround, a nice little glow up moment to be like very, very satisfied with how how my score played out. And kind of, he gives us kind of an approximation of what it would look like on the curve. And so I'm happy with where my brief turned out on the curve, and that's where we're at. I have a meeting with him tomorrow
to like go over the actual brief. I need to look at his comments because I don't actually have anything I want to go over based on the grading alone, but he does a lot of handwritten comments on the assignments, so I might have things I want to look at there. Alternatively, this is just concerning for me, but I'm such a, like a I don't know, I like, who doesn't like praise? I shouldn't be like that. That makes me unique, but like I feel like I know that going into this meeting, usually when I have conferences with this professor about my writing, I get a lot of compliments. So if nothing else, it'll be a good little ego boost as I get ready to draft the next one. Just, you know, telling me that I'm a good writer and I have created something that did what it was supposed to, which is always a good level of confidence to have in yourself when you're going into the next writing assignment. So that's where we're at. So between both of those two things, those are like two little exciting pieces of news. I also did class from my car. That is like the one perk of Zoom World, is that you know, you can attend class from your car. I did email that professor and be like, hi, please don't call on me today, because I am going to be driving. Luckily, I had arrived at the hospital by the time that class started, so it ended up not being an issue, but he called on me anyway, and I was like, well, okay, that email did nothing. It's a good thing I'm not like driving right now, because trying to unmute myself and answer a question probably would not have worked very well, and I just would have looked like I was ghosting him, which would just not have been a great look. So anyways, we are making the second part of the drive back to St. Louis now, and when I get there, I originally was going to like sit in my car and edit my video after class before my vaccine appointment, and then I just kind of decided like, I'm here an hour early, I might as well just go in and see if they'll jab me now, and they did. So I was able to leave a little bit early so I can edit my video that's going to go up tomorrow from the comfort of my own home instead of sitting in my car, which seems like the massively preferable option. So we're headed home.
You can see my eyebrows have settled down a little bit, so they're not quite as out there, but I like them. I like that they're a little bit bolder than they used to be. It has been a very busy day, but in a good way. Had class this morning, had a chance to work on some outlining for a little bit, and then my faculty mentor had invited me to basically a Planned Parenthood luncheon type deal. So they had food delivered to us and got to listen to some great speakers. It's like a fundraiser thing that they do. So I just got to go along and attend and hear from some great people. So I definitely enjoyed that, and then hopped straight into 2 classes in a row, and then had a meeting just now with my professor to go over my grading on the assignment that I got back yesterday, and there wasn't that much that needed to be gone over, but it was a wonderful little like ego boost, which I need sometimes. Like just that little like external validation is great in law school, especially when you don't get any sort of external feedback for most of the semester. Those like little crumbs that you get are like everything. So I'm just over here like grabbing them as fast as I can. This is a very creepy little hand motion, but like please just picture me like I'm a little rat going after crumbs of validation, which sounds pathetic, and maybe it is, but I'm comfortable with that. So I have some internal validation as well. I'm not entirely strung out on that, but it's always good to feel good and feel like you are doing things well. So we love a good reminder that I'm still vaguely competent. So I also finally managed to get things from yesterday on my calendar, so a couple of interviews scheduled for next week. I also am going to try to meet with someone in the career office who specializes in clerkships, because she reached out to me, and I'm gonna try to chat with her, even though now I have a whole extra year until I need to worry about clerkships, which is nice, but still definitely as the person that I am that needs to be 5 steps ahead on everything at all times, I am trying to get ahead on that one. But now I'm done with class because I've had no time today, and because I didn't work out yesterday because I was going on, you know, the Great Grand Missouri tour to get a shot in my arm. I'm gonna go to the gym. Now, I'm literally just going to do cardio because my legs are very sore from my workout on, I think it might have been Monday, which is really sad that I'm still feeling the lingering effects of it, but clearly it was an intense one, so my legs are still a little tired. Also, my arm is, you know, it genuinely feels like I had a really hard workout, like it's like a struggle to like lift my arm. It's just that whole muscle is just like not happy with me, so I definitely would not try to do an upper body workout today. That would go very poorly. I can't even lift my arm up, much less like, you know, add some weight to it. Yikes. So, but other than that, so far I feel great. So no regrets on even if I had side effects, I would still say no regrets, but I feel fine. So no regrets, and I'm gonna go get a little incline walk workout in, come back, knock out my weekly outlines, and then probably chill. So last night I played Among Us with some friends for like 3 hours because they dropped a new map, and I finished my work fairly early after I got home, and so it felt necessary to like mess around on that. So Among Us is like my like one fun little like social game that I play. I'm not like a video game person, but I do that one. So had a lot of fun with that, and might do that again tonight, but have a few little things to get knocked off the to-do list first. So I feel very uncolor coordinated right now. First of all, I slept in my contacts because I just wasn't paying attention, so I had my glasses on, but they get the worst glare on when I film, so we're gonna take them off because the camera's like a foot away from me, and I think I can survive without them. I also don't really need to see myself. I do watch myself when I film, but it's not really necessary. So most people don't, because most cameras don't have the little flip up thing. Anyways, that was a very unnecessary tangent to begin with. At some point, I'll like, after class, when I have 2 back-to-back interviews today. Not actually back-to-back, they're like spread out by about an hour, but I have 2 interviews today. And so when those come, I will switch into, I have a red blazer that I'm gonna wear. That's like my little like business professional look, but for right now we're just doing an oversized cardigan instead. And so right now my sweater doesn't match my lipstick, and it bothers me more than it should, but we're doing okay. I find it hilarious, as really as the week that just like everyone wants to schedule an interview, which is great. Someone else reached out yesterday, so I need to email them back this morning and set up a time for next week to meet. And yeah, there's a lot going on. There are a lot of interviews and all of that happening, and it makes me feel like, you know, given that like this many applications that I submitted immediately like came back and were like, we want to interview, like it makes me feel like there's a good chance that, you know, one of them will amount to something. So I'm like feeling very, very good about the summer job search at this point. It has been a roller coaster. It has not been a fun time at all, points in the journey, but I think I'm finally getting to a point where I like feel relatively confident. I'm not gonna like stop applying to things. I'm still gonna try to submit, you know, 1 or 2 applications this weekend, but this is just my like PSA that there's no like one set timeline, and just because you don't have a job in January does not mean that you're not qualified. I understand that I'm like speaking like as if like I know that I am qualified, which to an extent I do, so that's, I'll just accept that that's kind of the take that I'm going with. But I think that like my experience, if anything, is a testament to the fact that like the summer job search is a crapshoot, and you can go from feeling like no one wants you and feeling like you're just constantly getting rejected to like every application you submitted immediately hit you back wanting to interview you. and someone did a reference check this morning, so like things are moving in the right direction for me on a lot of different things. So it's getting there eventually. I also very excitingly signed my lease for my new apartment last night. So I move middle of June into a different place that avoids a lot of the pitfalls of where I live now that I am not a fan of. One of which being the ongoing construction. I miss having a gym in my apartment, and just in general is kind of a newer space with some more like updated and modern appliances and, you know, fixtures and all that stuff. And I'm, you know, comfortable with saying that I like when things are a little bit nicer. And so I am really excited to move and to upgrade my space. So that will be happening in June, right smack in the middle of my summer internship. What's very fortunate is that pretty much everywhere that I have applied to, everything this summer is still remote. And so I will still be here working regardless. And so I was able to, you know, make a move in the middle of the summer happen, which wouldn't happen in a normal year, but will be great because then I don't have to worry about it at the start of the school year. And also I am out of this place sooner. So, because if you've seen the video of me like driving and just like trying not to lose it because the construction on both sides of my street don't know how to coordinate with each other to not block people in/out, you would know that I've been ready to move for a while. So anyways, that is really exciting, and I'm really like excited about this move. So it's just been a really, really good day/week/ all of that good stuff. Like, it has been a time. I am thriving, I think. I have the 2 student organizations that I'm in, as well as a couple different other things, opened up applications this week. So that's another thing on my list of things to do, and to, you know, kind of line up some cool opportunities for me for my second year. I'm just literally going after everything that I think would be cool to do. And I've managed the time management aspect pretty well, I think, in first year. So I'm like kind of not super scared of overcommitting myself in second year. So I am very excited about, you know, just running after all of these things and seeing which one sticks. So that's kind of where everything is at. You will catch me later tonight. I will end this vlog as I usually do on these sorts of nights, where I'm writing my entire paper in one sitting. So you'll see that. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go pick up 2 energy drinks, and we're just gonna crank it out. This is just how I've accepted that my writing works, and it seems to turn out well for me. So I don't think we're gonna change it. So basically, this has been a solid week. A lot of things have started falling into place. I got, you know, vaccinated, which is great, and it's all going well, which is always a great place to feel like you're in. And in comparison to, you know, feeling very out of control of my own life, which is a very rare experience and not one that I particularly enjoy, a few weeks ago, to like right now feeling like very much like in my element. It's a good switch. I don't know what necessarily needed to switch, other than me just hunkering down and just plowing straight through it with a hammer, because that's how I solve problems. But we've seen a big shift, and it's been great. 1 interview down, 1 to go. I am also working on applications for exec boards in between, which actually proved to be extremely helpful, because I literally wrote a whole response to a question before my interview, and then was asked the exact same question in my interview, and I was like, good, I can talk about this one. So that was great. That's another one I've gotten knocked out. I have another interview in about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna continue working on these other applications while I wait for the next one. So this one might also be a phone interview, so I don't even need the blazer on. It's fine. It'll make me feel more put together, I guess. Even though I'm also wearing ripped jeans and slippers. So like, I'm only professional from like here up. So that's 2 interviews done. That second one was like really short and sweet and potentially has a second round. So that's done though. And the applications that I was writing are mostly done, and I will resume them. But for now, gonna head to the gym, going to get a quick workout in, then come back here and shower before I have a laser appointment at 3. So I need to have showered before that. And then after that, the paper writing, brief writing frenzy, the last one of 1L year begins. Writing is happening. As you can see, I have halfway devolved. I am still wearing like my nice shirt that I was wearing up top, and I have sweatpants on. So I got halfway to going casual, but I have been writing for, I did like 2-hour-long focus sprints, and I now have 783 words. So we're trucking along. It's supposed to be, the word limit is 2,900, so I still got about 2,000 to go tonight. So we're gonna be here for a while. It's 8 p.m. now, so we'll see how long this takes to get across the finish line. I am still on energy drink number 1, so once this one's drained, we'll switch to the second one and we will keep chugging along. 2 energy drinks down and 2,500 words, so that's my first draft of my brief. It is a 2,900 word limit, which I think, honestly, having knocked out most of what I wanted to say, at least in this first draft, in 2,500 puts me in a really good place, because there is inevitably like stuff that I'm gonna have to add or restructure as I edit. And so having a little bit of wiggle room to add that stuff in and not be frantically deleting words is probably a solid-ish place to be. So I think I'm good with that, and I will do, you know, some last-minute edits just real quickly before submitting that first draft tomorrow, and then I have all of next week to edit it and to meet with my professor and my TA and get feedback and improve it and get it ready to submit. But as usual, I've cranked out a draft in an evening, and I think I'm happy with how it has turned out so far. And that's the end of this vlog, because it's now a little past midnight, so it's technically Saturday. So it's the end of this week in my life. It was a good one, honestly, a very good one. So I am going to go take my makeup off and change the upper half, because I'm still wearing, once again, nice shirt with sweatpants, and go to bed. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon for another new video. Bye.